what are some things that you as a man would advise new moms to instill in their young sons to be later good men?
I think spending time with them one-on-one as they get a little bit older, as they get to be like 5, 6, 7, 8, spend some time just separately. Go do something separate with your son. One of the only things I ever got to do with my mom that was just me and her was we went to Wendy's one time. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and I probably have talked about this before, but, my mother worked all the time. She didn't want us to be on welfare, so she worked. And I'm not saying that she's better than your mom. I'm not saying that she's better than your grandmother or she's any different. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that, and I think she worked sometimes too because she was probably stressed out from having 4 children. She didn't know what else to do maybe sometimes, so she did what she knew how to do, which was to work. But one time I was sick or something. I couldn't be at school. I could have gotten, expelled maybe, or not expelled, but suspended. And so I had to go to work with my mom. And we rode around. It's like different cities or whatever. And we're delivering like magazines. She was delivering magazines at the time. And we were delivering these magazines. And it was just kind of cool because I got to be with her. It was just me and her. And we went to Wendy's for lunch. And I'd never went to a lunch place just with me and my mom before. And we there was too long of a line inside, so we went through the drive-thru, and we got sandwiches, and we just rode around and ate them. And I'm sure I was probably an asshole that day, but, it was a typical kid. But looking back, I remember it as like one of my favorite times where I got to spend time with just me and my mother. So I would just make sure that, or I don't know, make sure I don't have a family, but I think that that's important to make sure there's some connection there. Try not to tell your son, he don't always want to hear what will do better. Sometimes he just wants you to love him and just let him know that he's okay, and to let him know that you love him. That's it. Sometimes a kid doesn't want to always hear how it could be better or how he could have done it different or what, because they don't, that's adult stuff. And I've struggled with that over my life, telling people they could do better. Sometimes people just want to hear that they're not alone, and especially your son will want to hear that. And then I would take some control, and I would talk to him about how he treats women. Because I don't think that's a conversation that just men need to have with their sons anymore. I do think that that's a conversation that women need to have. And I commend you. I think that the toughest thing a woman can do is be a mom and to manage the home and to take the risk of there being less income in the home, to stay at home and create that family. But if we can get out of what the world tells us is good and we can get back into what our heart tells us is right or good, I'm not going to say right, that's not the word, but feels good, then I think, we'll find a lot of times that it's being with our family, and having those fun times and having those, ridiculous. My favorite time that I ever had when I was young was when the power went out and my family would all be together and we couldn't fight or beat each other because they had candles lit, and it's dangerous to beat each other around candles. So we would just be together. And we were kind of scared and nervous, but we were all together, like in one place. My mom had 2 candles, and so we would have to be by her, and we would have to be together. And it was just, I don't know, there was something special about that. So, I think those are a few things. Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. 2 options. Watch one, this one or this one.